but you know you're appreciated, right?
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, we are ready when you are.
All right, perfect. I would like to call this meeting of the Special Facilities Committee meeting to order and ask that we start with a moment of silence, please. All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Can I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right,
Second.
it's been moved and properly seconded to approve the minutes. Are there any discussion, deletion, additions, anything? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. I will turn it over to Romaine for the special facilities update.
Okay, thank you and Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first meeting back from the new year. And just to let you know, the ice storm, all of the facilities survived the ice storm. We had one little hiccup and it was at the Maritime Center. We had a water fountain line burst and spew water all over the place, but our wonderful Parks Department came in on Saturday and had it under control in less than 2 hours. So other than that, there was no other damage or problems during the ice storm this weekend, which was great because nobody was working. So that was another thing that when we came in Monday, it was a good sign. I'm going to start with the Old Slave Mart and Old Exchange Building, and I'm just going to do it together because there's not much there. Both of the buildings are seeing attendance down from last year, and we're just for the month of January, December too. And I think it's nothing major, but I think it was just, even though we had snow and ice last year, I think we had more frigid days this year, and I think the people just didn't come out because
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, if
yeah.
it being colder more often, if you thought that played into it.
Right, because all of the facilities were down. Most of them did well in December, but January started off good, but then by the middle of the month, it was just like a ghost town, which is, it comes with the territory. It's probably going to happen more often now because it seems to be a pattern. It's really cold in January now. So, but although, well, I'll get to that one later, but yeah, we just think it's because of cold, no other reason. Last meeting, we talked about Mother Emanuel wanting to borrow the Denmark Vesey painting that's now in the old exchange, in the old slave mart. We gave them the paperwork for the potential loan. We haven't heard anything back. They didn't ask any questions about it. They took the paperwork and I guess we're still waiting to see if they want it on loan. The other thing is the capital improvements at the old exchange building. The first phase ended and it's done. And I know, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but half of the scaffolding is gone and the scaffolding from the front of the building is gone too, so it makes it look more inviting to visitors because when it was on the front of the building, people were kind of, is it open, is it not open? But we were open. And once again, this is not, that capital project does not cost the city anything. That's covered between the state and the OXB. But we're glad that everything is going along. I know that the cost of things are going up. So I know that they were saying the price has ballooned a lot, but I don't know what a lot is. And I didn't, I asked for a figure, but I guess since they figured we're not paying for it, we don't need to know. So I'll let that one go. But everything seems to be going well over there with those two buildings. Now, for the Angel Oak, I am told that Sydney Cook with the Low Country Land Trust is working on a memorandum of understanding. And she told me that she has a meeting with the mayor, I believe, next month for them to go over it. I guess I'll see it at some point, but I know that it's on the mayor's radar. There's a lot of press about the Angel Oak this week in the news. Most of it is not correct. The first thing they said was that the construction for the new facility would start later this year. Not true. They don't have a date for it. They said when they won't start the project until they have at least 80% of the 13.5 million for the project. And they told me last week they only had a little over half. So they're nowhere close to 80%, and they do not have a date. They don't know where that came from. Let's see. I know Design and Review Board gave them the preliminary approval for advancing them to the permit phase. And I know the Technical Review Committee met this morning, although I was not able to go to that meeting. And the Land Trust wasn't able to go to the meeting either. Only their contractors went, and we haven't gotten the no one knows what happened there. So we're still waiting to figure out what the Technical Review Committee came up with. And the technical, and as you guys know, the Technical Review Committee is just focusing on the engineering, the safety, the infrastructure standards, and that type of thing. So we're waiting to hear if all of that passed and cleared. And, they have time because they don't have the money and they're not starting their project right now, but it's just nice to know where they are. They also, they were working with a interim president. They now have a new president. His name is Matt Williams. I have not met him yet, but I heard he's a pretty good go-getter, and he's going to be a great asset to the Land Trust. Any questions? I'm just moving along, I'm sorry.
I got one really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the Angel Oak. You said that they won't pull the trigger to start until they get, I think you said 80% of the funding,
Yes.
which makes sense. Do you know, and I might have missed it, do you know what percentage they're at approximately?
They told me they were a little over half.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe 55 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other thing is they're going to have a celebrating Black History Month out there. They're going to do a Taste of Gullah event. They're going to have, it's going to be on Valentine's Day, which is interesting. They're going to have a couple of vendors out there. They're going to have a tasting of a few things like nothing cooked, like Benny wafers and that type thing out there on Valentine's Day. And then they're going to have vendors that are going to be selling things. I'm not sure exactly what they're selling, but it's something about it, something associated with the Gullah culture. And if that goes well, they plan to do it again the weekend of March 7th and 8th. But we'll have to see how the 14th goes. The visitation over there is also down from last year for this month. This month they did about, January they did about 12,000 visitors. And if anybody doesn't know, that tree is one of the most visited things in the city of Charleston. It does anywhere from 20 up to 35,000 people a month, not 3,500,000 a month. But last month it was just 12, and we think that was because of the weather also.
And that's for which one?
The Angel Oak.
35,000 a month.
A month.
Wow.
Yes, it's a very big, and that's why we're looking forward to this improvement for the parking, the park, and everything, because it gets,
and all the road improvements too that are happening the next couple of years too. Good timing for all that too.
It is really needed. It has really just blossomed into a destination spot. But with even the numbers being down, the gift shop still did $2,000 more than it did last year. So figure that. Well, I think this is due to, we've decided every time the tree gets trimmed now, we sell those trimmings. We don't let the company take them with them anymore. we sell them, and we sell them just, according to size. you
Yeah,
know.
that's a good
Good
idea.
idea. Yeah.
Yes. So I think that's what's pulling in the extra cash, because people really want a piece of the actual tree. And Parks has decided to keep like the bigger pieces most of the pieces for us, because we don't have a lot of storage over there at the gift shop. So whenever we run out, we go over to Parks, or they bring it to us, and we continue to sell pieces of the angel oak tree, which is a great
Look-
thing.
Looks like I'll be planting a live oak in my backyard. I just found a new fundraising
Well,
mechanism.
that's another thing. We're thinking about selling the acorns, because we have a group
Uh-huh.
of people who has grown the acorn into little spuds of a tree. And I was like, well, we can get our horticultural department to do that for us too, So that might be another revenue source for us, but I don't know why we weren't selling the pieces of the tree anyway after the prunings, but it is taken off really well. People love that, which is great.
Well, we got to make sure, I'm sure we have enough lawyers on the line, that we do not promise that the acorn will actually sprout a tree.
Well, we're thinking about selling them as seedlings. We're talking with horticulture to see if they will start it for us, and we can sell them as a seedling, because none of us really have a green thumb, you know.
Right, right.
But the city has a horticultural department who knows all about that. So we're in talks with them to see if they would do that for us, and it's looking pretty good. We don't know when we're going to start that though.
Well, great.
Yeah. So the Dock Street Theater, everything is great here. I think the last time we talked about the whole building having a lighting issue. Parks has gotten a company in here. They fixed it where they addressed all the problems. The lighting is now back up to par and everything is great. The flooring project, it's still in progress. So far, we've only gotten the great room and the tap room and the box office area. And because of the snafu with the last floor company, we were supposed to have the whole project done last summer, but they pulled out 2 days before they were supposed to start the work. So now we're just kind of scrambling with the new company, and we're trying to squeeze little pieces in between productions and work. And we thought we were going to get a lot of it done this January, but because that's usually a slow time for us, but we had we had some last minute events squeeze their way in that we were happy to have. We had 2 days of Tutu Dance, which is the dance company from Meeting Street Academy. We had Spoleto did a kickoff. It was the first year they did a kickoff to all the events coming up for this spring. They did a kickoff and reception afterwards. Then we also had the announcement of Mir Riley's book, Windows. I can't think of what it's called.
On Washington Square.
That's it, on Washington Square. Windows, looking out the window on Washington Square. And that was sold out, which was really good. And I think that was about it for the last minute stuff. So now we're pushing most of the work off until after Spoleto leaves the building this summer. We're going to do the flooring in pieces over the summer, because we're doing a few things with the 250th. So it's we don't really have a date, but we're working it in and trying to figure it out. And that's it for the Dock Street, the flooring, the lighting. Yes. Okay, Maritime Center. The last time we talked about the Spirit of South Carolina not being there. It was towed off for repair. It is now repaired, but it is not back at the Maritime Center just yet. We expect it to return soon. All of the repairs have been made, but Tommy Baker and their group has decided to turn the ship back over to the original people who built it and who used to run it. I think Baker and his crew thought that they could turn a profit, and it didn't work out the way they wanted. So now they're giving it back to the original builders and operational people. And they want to return it to its glory. And they've already signed up, it's going to participate in the 250th this spring. He told me what it was, and I forget off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But they're doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and they've hired some part-time people, but they're not announcing anything or doing anything until Tommy Baker and his partners actually sign the vessel over to them. They don't want to do anything until it's in their name. We're working on a new MOU for the new group, because the old Tommy Baker and his group, their MOU just involved doing educational things for the dockage at the Maritime Center. The new group wants to do, they actually want to sail the ship every once in a while. They want to do fundraisers. They're thinking about doing evening events along with the educational stuff. And of course, the original MOU didn't cover that. And they used to do that before when they did it. So I think if we can just dig up the old MOU, it might, and you know, tweak it here and there, it might work. The Clover machines, all of the buildings have pretty much been installed with Clover machines. And those are the new little, not an ATM, but payment for all of the buildings. All of the staff loves it. Finance loves it because it helps with reporting. Staff loves it because it's really easy to use. You have to print it out. You don't have to figure out any math or anything. It also keeps track of our inventory when we need to order or reorder. It's everybody seems to be happy. The Dock Street has it, the Maritime Center has it, the Slave Mart has it, and the Old Exchange. The only structure that doesn't have it is the Angel Oak, but it just came in today, and we plan to have it up and running by the 19th because it takes a little bit to get everything into the system, the prices, the barcodes, the inventory, and that type of thing. So the deadline for that, well, the timeline we set for that was the 19th of this month, and hopefully everybody will be on the Clover system, and over, I think by the end of this year, I think all of the city buildings that collect money should be on Clover, which is great. And that is it for my report. And I
All right.
think the next thing on our agenda was the powder magazine.
Perfect. Does anyone have any questions
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
Romaine's report? All right, then let's talk the Powder Magazine.
All right. Okay, the last time we talked, we pretty much got an okay from you guys to move forward on the city running the Powder Magazine. So right now, Matt Froelich, Tony Yeoman, and myself are in the process of revising a MOU for them, a memorandum of understanding. And what we're asking of the committee today is, after we get the MOU together, if we can just send it to the legal department, the mayor, and the National Society of Colonial Dames of America for and real estate, and take it, and then after that, take it to real estate and council. We're kind of in under the gun for this because we want to have it open before the 250th. The other option is if you guys want to go through the MOU and find out what we're doing specifically before it goes to council, we can have a special meeting for you guys if you want to do it that way. But we're still planning to run it pretty much like we run the Old Exchange. Even though we don't own it, we're not going to cover any of the cost. That's pretty much going to come from the Colonial Dames, even the staffing, which is going to be run through a temp agency like some of the staff over at the Old Exchange. But what we really want to do is get it up and running in place So the 250th can hold a celebration there at the Powder Magazine. So we just really want to know, is that okay with you guys? Does anybody want a special meeting? Is it okay if we just run it through all of the channels and then bring it to real estate and council?
I mean, I can tell you my preference is that I'm sure some of my fellow colleagues don't want any extra meetings if they don't absolutely have to have them. And if the MOU is going to come to council anyway, we can review it at that time.
Sounds great. We're in the midst of getting that all together. So we should have that done within probably next week or so. And I'm sure Matt will bring it to you when he's ready. And that is it for me.
All right. Is there anything else for the good of the order? All right. If not, I will call the meeting adjourned, and everyone have a great rest of the week and weekend.